That's good. Thank you very much, Chetan, for coming on this presentation today. So today we are going to listen from Chetan how he fast tracked his career by creating that mindset shift, transformation, and up level his game, and increase his income. But on that top of it, how he used this power of human skills and mindset transformation not only change his own career, but also how he transformed his personal life too, and creating that peace and harmony for everybody around him. So today we're going to listen how it is possible to create amazing dramatic changes in our life in very short amount of time. And listening to him, I'm sure you will find that big inspiration to do something amazing in your life too. So without further ado, hello Chetan. So tell us how it all started, when how it was in the beginning. Tell us a little bit about you, and we'll walk through the entire journey that you've created for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Ravi. Thank you. First of all, I would say during a long weekend, the best amount of time that I have ever spent in my career is talking to you. That
Okay.
was the best time, I would say. I got in touch with you, and it has completely transformed what I am today within 6 months and what I have tried to achieve and what I have to achieve. So it has been a blessing in disguise to spend those 10-15 minutes talking to you and then signing up to this leadership course. So
Hmm.
uh, it's like, where do we start? It's extremely beneficial personally, professionally, family wise. So there are a lot of stories to tell. So
Yeah. And I have watched and experienced all the stories every time we meet, and it's really honor and exciting to see what you accomplished for yourself. So let's begin with how it was when we met very first time.
yeah, I believe it was somewhere in June that we started. I talked with you, and
Mhm.
I was looking for. There have been a lot of issues personally, even at professionally, where I was stuck for in the same rut, we can say,
Mhm.
not growing anywhere. And um, before even, it doesn't matter how many times you try to progress your career.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, it is internally that you have to be at peace.
Mhm.
That will help you in your overall professional career. So that was where it was lacking. That it doesn't matter how many skills you have externally, but if you're not internally satisfied and you're happy inside, you don't get that internal boost for doing something extraordinary, or at least being at peace internally and externally. So I would say that was where it was lacking. Thanks to this course, it has been very helpful professionally, as well as trying to connect with the family one on
Mhm.
one, individually with the kids and everyone. So it's been a big learning curve for personal development and professionally as
Mhm.
well. So
Right. That's really nice. So I'm glad that you brought this up. That first we have to be happy, because many of my clients come to me. Oh, I'm so not happy and frustrated and all those things in my current job, and then stuck in the road, right? But from that energy, if we do anything, doesn't work. So, and that's something that you achieve, that become happy first. Then
absolutely,
everything changes. Now everything becomes easy. If you're happy, everything is easy. Yeah.
yes.
So tell us, like, how, what was the transformation change in terms of mindset shift or increased confidence, communication skills? What do you think happened?
Oh, absolutely. Means the biggest benefit I can say is the mindset shift is like the mindful meditation on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
Not only professionally, personally, also you can even use it in your day-to-day life. If you're doing any sports, you can even use it for that. It's just to calm you down, make sure that uh, you are in control of your situation and not letting anybody else bother you, no matter what the situation is or what situation you're put in. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter what it is. Just make sure that you're prepared internally. If you're mentally stable, nobody can, rock the boat. So that has been one of the biggest benefit is just that 1 minute or like 5 minute meditation before you start the day.
Mm-hmm.
If there is something important, some important interview, some important meeting, something important, doesn't matter what it is. If you just calm yourself down you have the ability to conquer the world. That's
Yeah,
how I look at it.
right. Conquer the world. And it's just persistent. That's something as you have achieved. Like you are on this morning call every single day. So nobody comes and Chetan is always there. So I have that
I try.
confidence, which is really nice. And isn't it fascinating? In just the 5 minutes, it's not like hours of meditation that you need. In just few minutes a day, taking time can create this amazing thing. And in what way it helped you in boosting your confidence and courage or executive presence and all the good stuff we do here?
Absolutely. Means before I started this course, I was not even looking out for changing my job. I was self-contained, I would say. But
Okay.
as I as I saw the benefits about going through the videos, it's all about you. Like if you say you're content, you're not going to look out for opportunities. So as I was
Hmm.
going through it, I redid my LinkedIn, my resume, and it just happened like the positivity was that like, okay, now since I've done it, let me forward it to some of my friends or ex-colleagues, if they have any opportunities. And uh, lo and behold, I got a lot of opportunities. I got a lot of interview calls, and I had the opportunity to choose rather than in previous scenarios. Giving an interview was a big headache for me. Means I used to always be nervous, and I would mentally be scared about giving an interview rather than being confident about even facing an interview. So that was a big mind shift. Like successfully having two offers in hand and then choosing which one to choose from. That was the biggest surprise. Like, hey,
Yeah.
you can't ask for more.
Yeah.
And being in this field for more than 25 years, giving an interview, don't know why, but it happens. It
Right.
happens to the
Yeah.
best. And
Yeah.
it's just that probably it is like stage fright, probably,
Hmm.
or just
Hmm.
that the failure or many things like the monkey on on your shoulder or your inner voice giving negative feedback, something. But it
Hmm.
used to happen that I would be very scared about giving an interview. It didn't matter if I gave a good interview or not, but I would still be doubting myself. But and that is
Hmm.
where the negativity would come in, and that was a big change during this process. Giving interviews successfully, doing mock interviews before that with
Right.
everyone, Michelle, you, and everyone. So that was a big helping point. It means being
Hmm.
ready for the unexpected during the interview. That was a big help. And
Right.
lo and
Yeah.
behold, got two interview means two offers.
So it was same you, same technical skills, same whatever the certification you had, but the mindset was different. It's a
Absolutely.
confidence and courage, and that turned into two job offers instead of just one.
Absolutely.
That is-
And as you said, like persistence, like if you are prepared, then no matter what it is, you will find an answer to one of the toughest questions. And every interview is unique in its way, but it doesn't
Mhm.
matter. If you are mentally prepared and you're mentally stable, I think you should be able to 100% give it satisfactory answers, and that's all you can do. Just leave it to the rest. Leave the rest to the interviewer.
Interviewer, right? So that confidence and courage is super important for an immigrant. Like you
Absolutely.
might have everything, but without confidence and courage, you wouldn't even. That's what was happening. That you didn't even try for those. But as soon as you have this confidence and courage, boom, it opens up. That is super exciting. And it's just not that you worked with your boss also, right? You know, your earlier organizations.
Yes.
It the conversation with your boss and your skip level, and those started happening. Tell us about that. Like how did you make it happen, and what were the results?
Yeah, absolutely. Means generally we have our one-on-one with our boss only when there is during our yearly review. So
Hmm.
instead of that, what I started doing is like almost 6 months before my yearly review, I went to my boss and I asked him like, "Hey, what are your criterias for promotion?" So
Hmm.
he was dilly-dallying a little bit here and there, and he was not prepared. It looked like from the conversation. He said, "Okay, Chetan, let me just give me some time, and I'll come back with my parameters." It went on for a couple of months, and I could see that there was a lot of delay happening, and there was nothing concrete happening. So
Hmm.
though I was very persistent, it did not work out the way I was looking for. And
Hmm.
it was very surprising to see that the parameters were not set for promoting a particular person. It didn't matter what how much work you did, You was always on the call. You're the first person to be called if there is some issue. But it didn't matter.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, Unfortunately, it was very surprising to see that in a huge organization, your boss is not having that particular um, roadmap for
Hmm.
promoting people. And it's very frustrating to go to one-on-ones and then realize, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. Instead of that, I was like very forthcoming and asking him, okay, tell me what I need to do. He gave me a couple
Yeah.
of visible projects and I was able to do that, but beyond that there was nothing
Hmm.
constructive for me to look forward. So that's where I said, like, okay, now since I'm ready with my like leadership skills and all the it's all the videos and everything that I had gone through in the coaching manuals, I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
why not just give it a try? And it worked out very well for me, I would say.
Yeah, great. Nice. So, what skills you gain of how to make people eager, your boss making eager to promote you, or building those career sponsorship? What skills you got out of this program, and how you are doing differently now, and will be going forward?
I would say transformation or change happened on various fronts, like taking ownership at work, um,
Hmm.
connecting with team members, being more vocal during meetings, taking sometimes even taking more ownership, and
Hmm.
trying to be as helpful as you can, even sometimes going out of the ways, like us telling your team members, especially new team members, that if they have any issues, coming to you for any feedback or any solutions. If they sometimes it happens that you've already worked on a particular solution or an issue, and team member is facing that, and he's uh, you know trying to break trying to work as hard as possible, but he's not finding the solution. But if you come across that particular solution issue, you would step out and try to be connect one on one and tell them that, okay, probably you could try this scenario, or give them a roadmap or a
Yeah.
document which would help them to resolve and move ahead. So those were the areas where I was trying to focus and help as much and be more visible.
Yeah.
And that's, I would say, that was one of the ways. And then managing stress on your own, like it didn't matter what activity I was doing, or professionally, or playing sports or anything. I would try to see whatever it helped me. I would
Hmm.
try to impart that particular experience, or those particular my techniques to my friends during our sports activities, and you could see the result right away sometimes, where whatever you had told, if it had connected with them, they would be
Hmm.
implementing it right away. So that was very helpful to see that not only professionally, personally, but even in sports activities, you could use these techniques, especially
Yeah.
for mindful techniques, and that helped
Hmm.
overall. That I would say was being the biggest gain from this program.
Correct. Nice. Exciting. So it's not just about career. These skills helps everywhere because these are like our life skills in many sense. And there is a lot of things about executive presence. When our career progress, we have to showcase ourselves, and we have to promote ourselves and talk about our accomplishment. What is different you are doing now? What's changed there? What did you learn?
Oh, absolutely. Means one thing I have definitely gained from this program is to make a priority list. It doesn't matter what it is. If there is something important, day-to-day activities. It doesn't matter if I have to be for a particular meeting at a particular time. I will have two, three cell phones, reminders, making sure that, okay, it is on my priority list. It's just tuning your mind. The more reminders you have, sticky notes in ugly places, so that something is it's always an eyesore. Sticky notes in the wrong places is always an eyesore for the whole family. So putting
Right.
sticky notes so that you get reminded that, okay, this is important, this is coming. So that's been my like, and just making sure that you're persistent, making a priority list,
Mm-hmm.
and being mindful about being ready for any situation, like
Right.
professionally or even at home. So that's been the biggest challenge, I would say.
Yeah, and probably that resulted in like better performance. You're freeing up a little more time. What do you see happening as you become a lot more organized and setting up priorities?
Means internally, as I said, like I would say, internally being more calmer, Like
Mm-hmm.
you have that confidence, you have that presence that okay, you're calm. If you're calm, doesn't matter what situation is thrown at you, you can tackle it.
Yeah.
Somebody yelling in your face or someone cutting you off and while driving, and it doesn't matter. It's like it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. That's fine. Nobody's yanking your chain. That's fine. We
Right.
can just
Yeah.
move on. We can just let it go. And
Mm-hmm.
unless and until it is really important, which where it is, do or die situation, that is fine. But beyond that, nothing is critical to get into somebody's face and do something wrong. This is, I would say, is being the biggest change where you're calm inside internally so much that it
You
doesn't
can
matter what happens externally.
right. You can handle anything, as you said.
Exactly.
In meeting and their meeting, there are people always, or in office, there are always people ready to take us and trigger us, and that's something amazing thing that you achieved to stay calm in this situation, and you can respond rather than reacting to the moment. And this is the mark of a leader, right? Calm, collected, cool.
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely add a couple of things to it is um, your inner voice.
Mm-hmm.
It is always telling you something, which
Mm.
is right most of the time. And
Mm-hmm.
whether you're listening to it or not, that has been the biggest difference.
Okay. Yeah.
Even previously, also, you would get those intuitions or you would get those feelings that, okay, you need to do this, you need to learn this skill, you need to do this to, you know, further your career. But how much where were you at that time personally or mentally? That was the result of whether you were doing that activity or not. And
Mm.
monkey on the shoulder, when you're doing a particular activity or when you're doing something, there's always that negative thoughts that come in, or sometimes you're overthinking a particular scenario, and
Mm.
that's what leads to drawbacks and or holding you back. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
listening to your inner voice and monkey on your shoulder, those have been two guiding lights, or you can say principles if you want
Yeah.
to, so that you
Right.
know what is right and you know what is
Mm-hmm.
wrong. So,
Right. And that's what we start the program with, right? The very first thing is just there are two voices going on.
yeah,
And then once you start listening to separating those voices, if both are talking at the same time, it's very noisy. It's very noisy.
yes,
Now you learn how to separate them out. You can listen. You have a choice to listen to leader inside you more often, which is wonderfully done. So how this whole thing has helped you in personal life too?
I would say it has helped me um, with an ability to listen, um,
Mm.
and more importantly, react in a more calm way. I mean, I can give an example like my daughter, both are daughters, my both daughters are teenagers. So
Mm-hmm.
that itself is a big challenge. But with this
Mm-hmm.
program, you wouldn't believe it. Like my younger daughter, she can talk for hours on any mundane subject. I just have to
Right.
trigger it and she will start talking.
Right.
So it has
Mm-hmm.
given, she has the confidence now that, okay, dad can listen to me and we have the conversation. It doesn't matter what happened in PE
Mm-hmm.
on that day and how somebody was bullying her and then she reacted and she rightfully, rather than being bullied
Mm-hmm.
or anything, she rightfully gave it in the right coins. So that's very interesting to see how kids are handling their own day-to-day activities, no matter
Mm-hmm.
how mundane it is. But at least this has given me an ability to listen to my daughters, and sometimes we have conversations about anything. There's an app or a game right now. She's working on some Roblox, and every time she does something, she will come and show it to me. So I know nothing about that particular app, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I give those dedicated 15-20 minutes, whatever she's doing. So it's
Mhm.
good to see the spark in their eyes that, okay, when they
Yeah.
are having a conversation, there is a conversation, there is interaction, not like, okay,
Mm.
I'm busy or nothing like that. Just doesn't
Yeah.
matter what time it is, how important it is. I will give that time. That was a big difference. Like I knowingly, unknowingly would be more busy in my professional life rather than giving more time to family,
Mhm.
and that's been the biggest difference. Like now, a concentrated effort is being done mindfully.
Mhm.
That okay, whatever they're telling me, I just need to listen. It may be a 10-minute activity, but that's fine. And it helps a lot.
Mhm. Right, it helps a lot, and that's the super best gift that you are giving to your kids, right? Materialistically, you can always give, but this is the missing part that you're
Yes,
giving.
I'm trying.
Yeah, you are doing it. So, and how this I always say, right? This coaching makes a big difference. Everybody should have coach, mentor in our life. So, how was this one-on-one coaching or group coaching experience for you? How it has helped in a such a way that it wouldn't have helped by reading books or just watching one webinar and everything. By doing, talking about yourself, how was it different? How was it more effective?
I would say the group conversations, those are very helpful because you go through so many scenarios where people have encountered some issues and the way they have solved it, or through the overall group brainchild, or we would say just going through various leaders' suggestions, you could see how a particular solution can be
Hmm.
accomplished or can be achieved or at least can be attempted. So I would say these
Hmm.
group sessions have been very helpful. And the more you listen to these leaders, it is you get a roadmap. Like, okay, even if you have not encountered that particular scenario, but in the future, if similar scenario encounters, you're at least ready that, okay, this is how we could tackle this, and you have a blueprint that, okay, these are going to be my steps if some similar situation occurs. And again, if something is completely out of syllabus, then you can definitely get in touch with the other leaders and discuss with them that, okay, this is how I'm having some issue, what would be your suggestions? And there's a great opportunity to discuss with a lot of leaders in our group and have a one-on-one conversation if you need to discuss with somebody. So I would say that has been a big help to learn from others' experiences and then try and implement it in your day-to-day work or life, I would say.
Right, yeah, and that's the group wisdom, right? If we have to go far, do you don't go alone, and why
Yes,
why learn from our own experience if there are so many other people who have already gone through these
absolutely.
challenges?
There's no point reinventing the wheel.
Yeah,
It's
that is
already
true.
invented.
Yeah. And it is always a pleasure working with you on one-on-one coaching also, right? So having that time to just focusing on your own thing, because many times we get mentorship in office and all those things, but everybody has their own agenda. You would have you say, okay, in office I have coach, or office I have mentor, but they have their own agenda. So this was different. This conversations here we do at Leader Inside, you were different. So in what way you felt it different? This one-on-one coaching. Yeah.
The best way I would say is going through all the material, listening all the material. Like when you're doing in that 6 weeks, you're just trying to get through it. You're just trying to, finish it as quickly as you can, and trying to make sure that you get 100% completion certificate. But more than that, it is when you're actually uh, working on a particular activity, or when you have actually encountered an issue, that is when it really hits you that, okay, this is what it meant. Like, you really read between the lines. So initially you just go through these materials, videos, everything, just on a surface level. But as you're getting more and more involved and you listen to it multiple times, that is when it really hits you and it impacts you. So,
Mm.
what is the reason that you need to do this mindful meditation? Or why do you need to interact with your boss on a day-to-day basis or on a regular basis? Because the biggest myth, I would say, on a personal level I had is like, my boss knows everything, so why do I need to tell him? So that
Right.
is the biggest myth, because your boss is always busy. He does not have the time to remember each and every activity that you have done. Unfortunately,
Mhm.
he has the ability to remember all your mistakes that you have done. That's how the human mindset is,
Right.
unfortunately. But
Right.
he he has 4 or 5. If he has 4 or 5 employees along with you, then it is very difficult for him to remember what have been your achievements. So it's
Mhm.
always like you are marketing yourself, even professionally, that you have to be on top of what you have been doing, what you're doing,
Mhm.
and what you have done. So this helps a lot. Like, going through the material, it helps you that, okay, whatever I've been doing so far is not what needs to be done if you have to move
Mhm.
forward. And that
Right.
has been a big eye opener for me personally. Like assuming that your boss knows everything, that's not the truth anymore.
Yeah. And that's something you do it very nicely, right? You listen to this multiple training multiple times, and
Yes.
people who are in a group are listening to those multiple times and watching those every time they hear something new differently. And then another great thing you did is actually implemented it. Taking those actions, and you started seeing results, which is done so wonderfully well. So it was amazing. It's a really honor to see your progress that you could achieve every short amount of time. And one thing I always miss you in my group calls, right? That Chetan should have been here. You are always such an inspiration for everyone. You're always succinctly you would try and talk about all the points that you have. So you brought in a lot of energy and a lot of motivation for everybody here. And people do watch those earlier recording of our call, and then they get talk about you, so which is nice.
Thank you. As I said, I
Me.
learned a lot from all the leaders and especially from you, Ravi. So there's nothing that
Mhm.
I've been doing great, but it is just that I've been trying to be consistent, and that has helped a lot. It is all because of people who have done it before me. So I'm just trying to emulate them. That's all.
Great. So, what is the advice you would have to people or the audience here about their career growth? What stops people, or how they can get unlocked? What are the future possibilities, and what action steps they can take? And
Oh, absolutely. I would say is help yourself first to help others. Um,
Mhm.
we always try to fix external aesthetics rather than fixing our inner self, and I think that is where we lack more. If we have the internal peace, then we
Mhm.
can tackle any situation or any scenario. So I would say that is one aspect where if you're content internally, if you're stable internally, then nobody can rock anybody's boat. So that's where I
Yeah.
would say this has been the biggest help for
Mhm.
personal development and then professional development as well. So controlling those couple of inner voices and monkey on your shoulder, those are the biggest, I would say, helpful hints for any personal development, because you are the only person who knows the best that how you can move ahead or how good you can progress. There will always
Right.
be people to help you, guide you, but unless and
Mhm.
until you take those difficult steps on your own, nothing is going to help you. So having that ability, or at least doing the best that you can for making yourself calmer and having that ability to interact with people on a professional level without
Mhm.
getting affected, that I think that would be um, one of the challenges. And again, having a habit on a regular basis about,
Mhm.
I would say, like if you have to achieve something, just as I would do is most of the times I would just put sticky notes. Okay, this is my priority list, this is my target list. So
Yeah.
just make sticky notes and put it in places where it comes in your eyes, so it's an eyesore for you.
Right. Yeah, that's the voice from the leader inside you, right? So it's telling you those things, and if
Yeah.
you keep it right, if you listen to it more often, in whatever form you are in.
Yes, absolutely.
That's great. Yeah. So what few words you talk you can inspire people about this program?
I would say absolutely. It's, if you're not signed up, why? Sign up right away. There's no two ways about it. There is no brainers about it. Like, why do you have to even think about it? Just if you have to improve professionally, internally, personally, this is the best course that you can think about. And this is not just like you have to do it once. You have, if you have to grow, you have to keep on being persistent throughout your life. So there are, this is not one time done and you have, oh, I got a certificate. No, no, no. You have to keep, you have to be persistent about it, and you have to achieve things in a different way rather than, having a bias about few things and then just sticking to it.
Right. Yeah, and that's what it's all about. We keep meeting in leaders for life every single day for the rest of our
Absolutely.
life.
Yes.
It's a great journey, and I'm so happy and delighted that you chose to have it with us. So, okay, so again, thank you very much for your time today to
Thank,
tell you, share all this wisdom.
thank you, Ravi. Thank you. Thank you for all your help. And it's been a pleasure. It's, as I said, the Pleasure is all mine. It was very helpful for me professionally,
Mhm.
and I'm trying to spread the word as much as I can.
Great. And people are going to watch this thing and get inspired. And then I want to have what Chetan has. So, which is, it will be amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I can do it, anyone can do it.
Yep. We all can do it as long as we
Absolutely.
access that leader.
Yes.
Okay. So for everyone who is watching, listening to this, take the first step, simple step that Chetan took of watching that webinar. Go to the leaderinsideyou.com and there's a link. And also I have a link here. Just watch that webinar. I think that will be one of the best 45 minutes you spend today, tomorrow, whenever you are. And if you find it valuable, if it resonates with you, at the end you will get opportunity to talk with me or one of our coaches, and we will help you to figure out what is stopping in your career and what big things are possible for you. And if you choose to, you can join the program and get amazing result like Chetan has achieved. But you have to take that first step. It's a simple step. It's a free webinar. Just register it, watch it, and see what wonderful transformation you can be achieved, not only career but also your personal life, and make everybody happy. So thank you, Chetan, one more time,
Thank you, Ravi.
and see you everyone. Bye for now. We'll meet
Sure.
again sometime soon.
Thanks.